Hello. This is the MIT OpenCourseWare-centric Wiki World University and School WUAS News and Question and Answer on Monday, December 2nd, 2024 at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. Pacific Time. I think it's 7:30 p.m. in parts of India time. Please check your time converter to join this open WUAS news and question and answer. I'm holding up a card right now with World University and Schools logo and URL, and I'm turning the card over right now with my name and my email address and phone number if you would like to get in touch with World University and School in other ways. For example, if you would like to have your children matriculate at World University and School for free MIT OpenCourseWare-centric online WUAS degrees, as we accredit with Middle States Commission on Higher Education with offices in the greater Philadelphia, Pennsylvania area. I'm holding up also right now a coffee cup with yoga poses on it. Happy yoga. Today's WUAS news and question and answer is partly about yoga genetics and aging reversal genetics and extreme longevity genetics and the research that World University and School would like to do in these regards, and potentially in a realistic virtual Earth for aging reversal and extreme longevity and avatar agent electronic health records, and potentially in something like a Google Street View smart room office. So in a WUAS multimedia room or a WUAS hospital room for n-dimensionality, and think Google Street View with Time Slider, Google Maps, Google Earth, TensorFlow AI, Google Translate, Little Pegman becoming electronic health records, avatar agent electronic health records. And not only at the Street View level, but also at the cell view level, the Google cell view level, and the molecular view level, and the atom view levels, and other levels in between, as one way of conceiving the digital physical universe and reality. So to begin, agenda item 1, in many of these regards, a realistic virtual Earth for biology, a realistic virtual Earth for genetics, and think Google Street View with G Time Slider and Google Cell View, Google Molecule View, TensorFlow AI, TensorStore. Where are we going to store all this data? In the biology cloud? And for newly, hashtag bioengineering. Check out the hashtags on Twitter. Dear William Lenderking and BCC, Tim and David. So this is an email I sent recently in many of these regards. So very nice to meet you at the Teaism Cafe in Washington, D.C. with Tim, Inigo, and David on Wednesday, 11/27/2024. Inigo, as a prospective UC Berkeley undergraduate student next year, 2025, in biological engineering or bioengineering, might be interested in this hashtag realistic virtual Earth for biology, and hashtag for everything, a realistic virtual Earth for everything. So for evolutionary biology too, 3 to 100 million species, which MIT OCW-centric wiki World University and School is developing. And here's a set of tweets in some of these regards. And regarding the Harvard and MIT professor of genetics, George Church. So the set of tweets. Thanks for retweeting these, Professor GeoChurch on Twitter, hashtag Biology Cloud. And he retweeted Alfredo Andara's tweet about the Biology Cloud. How best to create a hashtag realistic virtual Earth for biology or hashtag realistic virtual Earth for genetics plus, and think Google Street View with hashtag GTimeSlider, hashtag Google Cell View, hashtag Google Molecule View, hashtag TensorFlow AI, hashtag TensorStore. And Alfredo Andara tweeted possibly a year or two ago, biological data is growing exponentially. It's difficult to reconcile and work with all of it. That's why we're building a cloud for biology. So one of the questions here, and Professor George Church is not a computer scientist per se. I think he knows how to program, but his work in so many fields in genetics and biology, including aging reversal and longevity, has a lot of bench work focus. It's on the physical side. So the digital side of developing a realistic virtual Earth for biology is something that involves vast amounts of data and will grow, and World University and School is seeking to help that. So further with this email to William Lenderking, and see this incredible hashtag Tulify AI WUAS article from Peter Norvig about MIT OCW-centric Wiki World University and School revolutionizing education with machine learning and AI, hashtag World University in School. And it's the Tulify AI article in some of the above regards. And William, I enjoyed your guitar playing here in a YouTube video, a concert, Latin America Classical Guitar with William Lenderking from about the year 2020. Check it out. And with its hippiness as well. William, I think, was very much a hippie in the 70s and at Dartmouth College in New Hampshire, and potentially traveling around the world, I would think. William, he says in this video, was born in Cuba. His father was a diplomat. So further with this email, a tour for MIT OCW-centric Wiki World University and School for all 21 countries, approximately, of Latin America, and where Spanish is an official language, and possibly to help grow World University and School in all 21 of these countries, and since you were born in Cuba. What are you exploring with yoga these days, since William is a yoga teacher too? And here are two directions I head in, also as a yoga teacher. wiki.worlduniversityandschool.org/wiki/yoga is the Wiki School beginning Wiki subject page for open teaching and learning. You can teach there, you can learn here at World University and School. It's planned in all 200 countries' main languages as well, and will grow. And also the other direction I head in with yoga these days is my Hippie Angeli yoga notations at scottmccloud.com/yoga-notations.html. So further in this email to William, a physical on-the-ground, in-person tour through all the 20 Latin American countries with Spanish as their official language to grow MIT OCW-centric Wiki World University and School in Latin Americans' homes. And regarding your guitar and yoga video, William, here's another set of tweets, and not only regarding Latin America for World University and School too. Set of tweets. How best to grow hashtag MIT OCW-centric Wiki, hashtag Arabic language, WUAS, in its 25, approximately, out of 200 hashtag nation states, hashtag WUAS, UNIVS, per the Olympics, and hashtag Spanish WUAS in approximately 21 out of 200 countries, and in 54 countries in Africa, in main languages. And in the 5 out of approximately 200, hashtag Chinese language WUAS, hashtag countries WUAS, 4 hashtag free WUAS degrees. And the wiki worlduniversityandSchool.org/wiki/nation_states is where these universities will emerge from in these 200 countries' main languages. So Tim Lenderking has worked as a diplomat in many Arabic language countries. And one of the questions here also regarding hashtag Arabic language WUAS is how to grow this World University and School in all approximately 25 out of Arabic language countries for free to students, bachelor's, PhD, law, MD, IB high school or similar, AAAS, Associate of Science degrees, master's degrees, and for Arabic language countries in prospective students' homes. This would be a brand new development in, I think, the Arabic language countries to have access to free to students MIT OCW-centric WUAS degrees in highest quality and potentially in Arabic. So how further to do a tour through potentially also not only the Arabic language countries, the African countries, the Chinese language countries, the Spanish language countries, but India's 28 states and Russia, and potentially all of Southeast Asian countries, and potentially the Arctic and the Antarctic. So all 200 nation states, which include some very small countries in, for example, the South Seas, Palau, and the Cook Islands, and Micronesia, and similar. So interesting questions. And could possibly Tim Lenderking become US Secretary of State in 2028, or at least further up the list, such that he might continue on as Secretary of State in the Secretary of State role, in a role that Thomas Jefferson began back in the late 1700s, I think. So further with this email to William, I might be interested in developing online WUAS yoga classes for people in all of these nation states after learning what happens on the ground there. And even for, especially for Unitarian Universalist friends like Christine Michaels, and potentially your father, William Lenderking, too, who may be using a walker these days, but who might be able to get stronger with yoga asana and with adding copies of genes back in to their bodies, to reverse aging at the same time. And per this 66-second, 60 minutes television show on YouTube interview with Harvard professor of genetics, George Church, where he talks about aging reversal genetic drug therapies. Thoughts, ideas, questions? Best regards, yogically, namaste, warmly, kind wishes, meditatively, too, regarding yoga, as MIT OCW plus centric Wiki World University and School grows. Scott. So agenda item 2, and let me just check it to see if people want to join us. And I will add the recording of this video to the current active YouTube channel for World University and School, youtube.com/Scott McLeod World University or similar. Agenda item 2. This is an email to Shadyside Academy and its president, Bart Griffith, and Stefan Owens, CMU alum and trumpet player alum, who might possibly be in the National Guard, the US National Guard or the International Guard these days, and to protect Black, especially, question mark, for example, Pittsburgh Symphony Orchestra and other symphony musicians possibly when they're on tour, and African Americans too. And the email is also to US Senator and former Harvard Law professor Elizabeth Warren and Tim Mullen and Ashwin Ramakrishna, both of whom are Shadyside Academy alum as well. Tim is a Unitarian Universalist. Friend and attorney Sean Flaherty, who's also formerly in the PA House of Representatives, Trixie Sabundayo, head of senior school at Shadyside, Janie McLeod, my mother, Pin and Sid Mazumdar, also a Shadyside Academy alum, Ed Smythe, MD in Berkeley, Allegheny County Police Lieutenant John Tadler, also a Shadyside alum and the son of a favorite English teacher of mine, Mr. Tadler, from the second half of the 1970s, and other Shadyside friends from the second half of the 1970s. So World University and School is interested in matriculating Shadyside Academy graduates for free online WUAS degrees from home, and interested too in growing a relationship with Shadyside, and regarding potentially an online Shadyside Academy Spirit store that they shared an email link to, and both as with Shadyside as a country, a school that I think is a 501c3, tax-exempt legal entity, potentially and also with a store that seeks to sell goods. So could, in these regards, the Shadyside Academy Spirit Store be a model for the WUAS bookstore too, in that we could buy books online, and this is with much relevance to World University and School, which is both a nonprofit and a for-profit, and make tax-deductible 501c3 donations in this store at the same time to Shadyside. So how best to proceed in some of these regards, and how best to matriculate Shadyside Academy students for free online accrediting with Middle States Commission on Higher Education via Grow with Google, potentially MIT OCW-centric Wiki World University and School degrees in the future. Friendly Quaker greetings, and was contributing also to Shadyside Academy, and so glad that MIT OCW-centric Wiki World University and School WUAS is a nonprofit too, with the guidestar.org profile for nonprofit World University and School with an address in Canyon. So this is all relevant to Shadyside Academy Homecoming on Friday, September 20th, 2024, continuing. And agenda item 3, some of these regards, how best to develop this realistic virtual Earth, potentially which emerges out of a realistic virtual Harbin Hot Springs envisioning, and potentially think Google Street View with Time Slider, and where Harbin Hot Springs is Heart Consciousness Church, also a nonprofit 501c3 at the US federal level. And regarding also aging reversal and extreme longevity, gene drug therapies, with the potential thinking and research of George Church, Harvard and MIT professor of genetics, and so many other thousands and more scientists doing research in this area. So a set of tweets in these regards. Go to church, ? Hashtag Heart Consciousness Church, AKA hashtag Harbin Hot Springs and hashtag GeoChurch, in a hashtag Realistic Virtual Harbin, hashtag Realistic Virtual Earth, and see the Tulify AI article from Peter Norvig on revolutionizing education with machine learning and AI, which has a focus on a realistic virtual Earth as well. And for hashtag Soaking Meditation, WUAS, from hashtag Home Bathtub, and hashtag Aging Reversal, and hashtag Extreme Longevity, and hashtag Gene Drug Therapies. And see the blog post, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com, from October of 2024, Yellow Eye Rockfish. So this retweets regarding this focus on consciousness as well. What is consciousness? Subjective experience, sentience, awareness, feeling, and similar. But in the philosophy of mind, in the philosophy of consciousness, and regarding the mind-body question, which David Chalmers, the philosopher of mind at NYU, is continuing to help teach about in remarkable ways, to so many people, I think. So in all of these regards, there was a great video with David Chalmers and Neil deGrasse Tyson and Chuck Nice and Gary O'Reilly, all four in conversation about what is consciousness. And I come into conversation with this video regarding where is the hashtag seat of consciousness. And per the video, that with this conversation between these four about consciousness, is it sitting in the hashtag Harbin Hot Springs, hashtag Warm Pool WUAS, hashtag Heart Consciousness Church at Realistic Virtual Harbin, in a realistic virtual Earth, to study these hashtag philosophical cues or philosophical questions with hashtag brainwave headsets, streaming via hashtag Wi-Fi headbands into electronic health records, avatar agent electronic health records. This question, where is the seat of consciousness, in a way parallels where is the questions about, for example, where is the seat of Buddhism? Maybe it's in Bodh Gaya, in Northeast India. That consciousness is still not something we understand, either philosophically or scientifically. Where is it in the brain? Where does consciousness happen in the brain? Why was it selected for even? Why does it appear to emerge in many species, higher order species along the phylogenetic tree? How could we bring these philosophical and scientific questions further about what is consciousness, in exploring the seat of consciousness, and potentially with digital technologies, information technologies, at World University and School in a realistic virtual Harbin. And check out also the blog post, Kenai Peninsula, Alaska, from November of 2024, for further exploration of these questions. So the WUAS Corporation, second of two wings, WUS Wings, for-profit general stock company, legal entity in California. So what I was just talking about was much on the nonprofit MIT OCW-centric World University and School of 501c3, and also a second legal entity in the state of California that's exempt. This WUS Corporation is a for-profit general stock company legal entity in the state of California. It's also an academic press planned in 7,164 known living languages with machine learning. And both wings are planned in 200 countries and for speakers of 7,164 known living languages. So, dear JP Morgan Chase CEO, Jamie Dimon, this is an email to Chase Bank. Peter Norvig, US Senator and former Harvard Law professor Elizabeth Warren, Lieutenant John Tadler, having attended an FBI workshop in 2013 from Pittsburgh. Attorney Sean Flaherty in Pittsburgh, PA. Chase Bank Shadyside, Pittsburgh, Shauna McNally. Chase Bank Curated Coaching TAP, first consultant for WUAS Jenny Ling. Greetings. In growing a MIT OCW-centric Wiki World University and School WUAS abolition movement worldwide, and in continuing to seek to stay alive regarding the murder word in Chase Bank, Shadyside, Pittsburgh in March of 2024, mentioned by VP Shauna McNally there above in the, who this email is addressed to me at the close of the session, and the closure of my Chase Freedom credit card and 2 Chase bank accounts, potentially regarding JP Morgan Chase's possible involvement in international organized crime. I received some, and potentially by Chase Bank Wilkinsburg, 15221 in Pittsburgh, employees there, where my credit card and bank was closed. I learned completely different from a completely different company, Trader Joe's, on February 28th, 2024. So after 6.5 months with my Chase Bank credit card of 27 years and an excellent credit score being closed arbitrarily, as I saw it, I received a new credit card. My 2 bank accounts are still closed. And I've received since, in the mid-September of 2024, a new credit card. But this is a MasterCard rather than a Visa card. And there have already been some possibly spurious emails regarding my credit card limit having been reached at paying $5.45, or a third of my credit card limit being reached after paying a small amount. And having been in 2 asylum houses in Pittsburgh, I'm writing to ask how to proceed with the phone call from the Chase executive office to me a couple of times about requests to the JP Morgan Chase Bank with operations in 100 out of 200 countries. So how to navigate these questions further? The WS Corporation seeks to begin to grow our WUS educational services stores for books, computer stores, robotics, groceries, department stores, retail stores in all 200 countries, and for speakers of all 7,000 languages, both physical and digital, and potentially either with Chase Bank loans or similar. And I'm also continuing to seek to move forward into a the WUS Academic Medical Center with the WS Longevity Genetics Institute into a newly safe Canyon, California, 94516, from being in asylum in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and may depart sometime this December in some of these regards. How best to grow these next steps where I don't hear back from, for example, the JP Morgan Chase Bank CEO, Jamie Dimon, directly, except by saying my emails to him have been delayed. So I'm continuing to seek to stay alive regarding the murder word mentioned by Shauna McNally, Chase Bank, Shadyside, Pittsburgh VP in March of 2024, and wondering how to be further in communication with the Chase Executive Office. Check out the rest of this email to JP Morgan Chase Bank CEO Jamie Dimon and US Senator from Massachusetts and former Harvard Law professor Elizabeth Warren and others. Agenda item B on the WS Corporation side, also yoga genetics related. How best in a realistic virtual earth for aging reversal? And think Google Smart Office room, a WS hospital room with Google Street View on all 6 sides of the cube, such that one could enter into the Street View level, the cell view level, the molecular view level, n-dimensionally. So get inside the molecules and the atoms and the cells for further research, and even to develop pharmaceutical drugs to make aging, reversal, and extreme longevity gene drugs, for example, to reverse muscle wasting. And you can search on hashtag yoga genetics and higher, faster, stronger athletics Olympics in the scottmccloud.com/yoga-notations.html webpage, and at World University and School, and with hashtag avatar agent electronic health records for 7.9 billion people. So in these regards, how to focus this? How best at hashtag yoga WUAS for 95-year-olds in walkers to combine inspiring yoga, asana, in chair yoga. So hashtag Angela Victor inspired yoga, hashtag chair yoga on Twitter, with hashtag aging reversal and hashtag extreme longevity, hashtag gene therapies to reverse muscle wasting, and regarding hashtag yoga notations, WUAS. So 3 sets of tweets in these regards. Combine hashtag Angela Victor inspired yoga, hashtag chair yoga, with hashtag aging reversal and hashtag extreme longevity gene drugs to reverse muscle wasting, and search on the yoga genetics higher, faster, stronger athletics in scottmccloud.com/yoga-notations.html. And this retweets a tweet from India and a directorate there where a large number of Indians are doing chair yoga as part of the defense civilians. And also not only chair yoga, but hashtag meditation in a fascinating combination of yoga and defense. And this is in the state of Goa in the Southwest. Next set of tweets. How best at hashtag yoga WUAS for a 95-year-old, for 95-year-olds in walkers to combine hashtag Angela Victor inspired yoga, hashtag chair yoga, with aging reversal, extreme longevity gene therapies to reverse muscle wasting, and regarding the hashtag yoga notations WUAS. So search on hashtag yoga genetics and higher, faster, stronger athletics in scottmccloud.com/yoga-notations.html, where Given the history, for example, of drugs and pharmaceuticals in Olympics and other sports, researchers and scientists will likely seek and be successful at developing pharmaceuticals that can help with higher, faster, stronger athletics. How to apply this to both longevity as well as helping people, seniors, 95-year-olds, 100-year-olds, 110-year-olds, who might be facing muscle wasting as their gene function declines, per George Church's 66-second, 60 minute video, become stronger, not only with yoga asana, but by adding genetics back in that might make them stronger in an aging reversal way. And how can this retweets this as a part of a 60-day resilience program focused on mental health and wellness. A chair yoga and meditation session was organized by defense civilians at NAD Goa, India, tweet. And in some of these regards, how could World University and School develop drugs, such aging reversal genetic drugs, to help focus the development of these pharmaceuticals for aging reversal and extreme longevity in seniors that might be higher, faster, stronger oriented, combined with yoga asana, so that potentially people with such yoga asana combined with yoga genetic aging reversal drugs might be able to live 200 years or 500 years into the future in remarkable and fascinating ways. So that's the WS News and Question and Answer for today, Monday, December 2nd, 2024. I'll post this to the active WS News and Question and Answer, the active YouTube channel, youtube.com/scottmccloud.com. And until next Monday, December 9th, when this WS News and Question and Answer will take place again. See you next week. It's possible on Tuesday, I'll be beginning to head west from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, to the San Francisco Bay Area to move the WS Academic Medical Center and WS Longevity Genetics Institute forward into a newly safe Canyon, California 94516 in the San Francisco Bay Area. Driving current vehicle I have and leaving it out there, flying back, potentially moving my stuff west and World University and Schools things west to Canyon again later in the month of December 2024. All momentous steps for World University and School growing in new ways after becoming a nonprofit 501c3 in 2010 with our ruling year in 2014, and after also becoming a parallel for-profit general stock company legal entity in the state of California in 2017, in step-by-step gradual progress for both wings, and in seeking to make free MIT OCW-centric World University and School degrees available to students in all 200 countries and in their main languages in their homes as further steps ahead. Stay tuned. Until next time, see you soon. I'll post this also to twitter.com/WORLDUNIVANDSCH And I'll post the recording as well to twitter.com/WUAS Press. Until next time, holding up the card for World University in School with the URL. The Twitter feeds are much active. See you soon.